Hi, Washieka. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. So tell us a little bit about your research.
So, what I'm working on right now is an accessible food sovereignty guide. And one of the biggest principles of food sovereignty is the right of people to choose their own food and agricultural pathways and foodways. And so, what I'm working on is this guide that will help both disabled and non-disabled people to see what kind of food markets are accessible to them, so supermarkets, farmers markets, those kinds of things, and which ones aren't and why. And also you'll look at it also explores different neighborhoods and the different kind of characters they have as well.
Okay, so why is your research important?
So I think one of the biggest things that's important is it's important to include disabled people in the planning process and in the decision-making process. And by creating the guide and having disabled people tell us what issues are there and what solutions can be had, it puts them at the center of the decision-making process at all levels. And I think that's really important for people to see and people to begin to enact in their own work too.
So what model do you use for your work?
So there's a few different models of disability, and I use the social model. So the social model posits that the problem with disability is not in the person but in society. So the issue that a wheelchair user might have is not that they're in a wheelchair, right? The issue is that there's a lot of inaccessibility. There's not curb cuts or ramps or elevators or accessible spaces to them. That is what is limiting their ability to live life as they wish. And so for me, I overlay that model with what I'm doing by saying, it's not that disabled people can't or don't want to shop for themselves or they want other people to shop for themselves. It's that the shopping experience is not accessible. So if we made the shopping experience more accessible, disabled people can eat can have better access to eat what they want and how they want.
What kind of techniques do you use for your research? Do you do interviews or?
So I do a couple of different methods. So I give presentations and then I get a lot of feedback from people. I will go to different types of meetings. I do interviews. I did a film where I interviewed people in Mississippi about the issues that they had or what they do to navigate the food landscape in their particular area, which was Jackson. And how they do that. And there were people with different types of disabilities and they gave me a lot of insightful information. So it is almost always direct contact with someone. That is the biggest thing for me. There's an amazing digital community that's coming up that's talking about food sovereignty from this perspective, but a lot of my work has been face-to-face, speaking to people, getting their information, meeting up with them later on and following up with them. So that's a lot of my work is just face-to-face interviews or just conversations with people, and they lead to some amazing things.
Is this film available? Anyone?
It's on YouTube. It's called Access Denied, Food Deserts in Mississippi, and it's by me, Washieka. And it's through my production company, Creating Equitable Media. So if you type in Creating Equitable Media and then the whole title of the film, it should come up.
What does an average day look like for you in graduate school?
So when school's in session, so it's interesting because even when school's not in session, I do a lot of work on my projects. So when school's in session, if I have class, I get up, I have 2 cats, so I take care of them, I take care of myself. I'll leave and then I'll have classes and then I'll go home, and usually I'll watch a lot of videos on YouTube or different types of documentary sites about food sovereignty and what people are doing in their communities and how to make that accessible, because again, a lot of things around food sovereignty don't necessarily talk about disability or center disability. So that's where I really come in, and so I'll watch a lot of documentaries or news clips of what people are doing and look at, okay, how can this be shifted or changed. I also go to my online communities a lot to see what people are doing there, how that can be enacted, wherever I am. I also read a lot of local news, Tribune, Red Eye, there's one called Block News. I'm in Lawndale, I'm in North Lawndale, there's a local newspaper there. And I read them to see what's also going on in the community as it relates to the food, accessibility, or just, communal work, to kind of see, okay, where does my work fit in, not just in this neighborhood, but where does my work fit in the city? Because every city has its own character, its own flavor. And so I am trying to learn more and more about food, but also about the geography and the kind of geographic opportunities and barriers. I'll make little notes in different notebooks, or I'll save different documents that I've read. And I have a folder that I do different research articles on. I've been putting together PowerPoints. I'll talk to other academics online. I'll use Facebook or something like that to bounce ideas off of them. So that's what I do. A lot of my stuff I will I can thankfully consume online, but it is still very local. So right now we're actually in Jewel Osco, and there's a lot of really interesting and really cool accessibility features here. So they have accessible carts. So you have a cart if you need to push your cart, and you can't push the cart, you can sit down and move it around, and they have the basket in front. They also have a service where you can get assistance. So you can have someone that either goes with you and puts stuff in your basket, or you can have someone just pick up the stuff for you and then help you check out. So there's some really great accessibility features for Jewel Osco, and also the aisles are fairly wide. So if you had two of those types of carts, you may be able to make your way through the aisles. So that's kind of where I'm standing in the middle to show you the kind of space you have. But like most supermarkets, there are some drawbacks too. Like for instance, the shelves are really high. And the most expensive stuff is either at what is considered eye level or wheelchair level. So if I'm on a fixed income, then if I wanted something that was really inexpensive, I may not be able to reach all the way up or all the way to the bottom to get the items. So if no one was here to assist me, then that may be an issue. Another thing is that there's some things that are just too far back for someone to reach. So if you're trying to get something that has more variety, there just may be some things that you find out you can't get on your own. So, my goal is for disabled people to have the option to either have assisted shopping or to be able to get the items they want by themselves if they want to. So I think Jewel Osco fares better than some supermarkets that don't offer any kind of assistance, don't have any of those baskets, but there's still things that they could improve on.
So why did you choose graduate school?
So I chose graduate school specifically here at USC because there's a strong community tie, and I'm really into doing a lot of community work. And so my department, specifically, has a lot of connections with different disability-related community and advocacy groups that have people with disabilities in them at different levels. And so for me, being able to work with people with disabilities, face to face, and not just kind of a distance-based relationship was really important, and being here allows me to do that.
Okay, so what are your career goals?
So what I want to do, I really love teaching and educating people on different issues, but I do want to find a way to help connect more disabled people to city planning and also supermarket planning organizations, so that even before supermarkets open or any kind of markets open, accessibility is one of the key factors and is at the forefront of it, because I think that a lot of people ask disabled people their opinions after the decisions have been made, after the plans have been done, after something's not accessible. And I want to change that. I want to find a way to be able to have that happen beforehand so that we can create a lot of system changes.
What is it like being a part of BGSA?
I really like it. There are a few Black people in my program, but we don't always get to see each other or hang out or relate, and sometimes our work is just very different from one another. And with BGSA, I can really connect with people. Even though we don't have all the same interests, we have other outside common interests, and being able to talk with people about their experiences and what they're going through and their own work too has just been really great. I love the networking and the community aspect of it. I think that really helps to encourage me as well.
Okay, so a lot of times, we fail in graduate school and it's pretty hard to pick ourselves back up. Do you have any advice for graduate students that are going through this now or for future grad students?
I think one of the biggest things I always remember when I feel discouraged or I'm not very motivated is to always remember why I came to grad school. Why am I doing this? What is the purpose? And when I tell my work to other people, when I explain what I'm doing to other people, they think it's amazing, right? They're excited. They're like, yeah, this is going to really be, create such a social change and social attitudes to the way people think about people with disabilities, and it could allow other people to have more freedom and mobility, and they can eat the way they want, not just what they want, but the way they want, and it's a more freeing experience. I think that also helps to encourage me. I think that always remembering why I'm here, what I'm doing, and keeping those goals in mind has helped to keep me motivated, even when other things have been demotivating. Sometimes people don't understand my work, or people don't think it's important, or sometimes I don't feel like getting up every day and doing the work, but you have to. So, and I just think, keep in mind why I'm doing it and all the things I've told people and how excited they are about the work that's coming. So that's what helps keep me going.
So who are some of the people that you look up to in your field?
Oh, there is this amazing Black activist, Leroy Moore, and he's just done so much work in areas that I just never even thought of. And I think his creativity inspires mine. He's a poet. He's done more than that. He's a poet. He founded this organization, Crip Hop. He has traveled all over the world to talk to people about different aspects in the way disability intersects with like race and nationality and identity. And he's done work on incarceration. I mean, he has just been really amazing, and the body of his work has just been so impactful, I think, in my life as a Black woman. And I felt like we're friends on Facebook. I also read his work. I have recommended his work. Actually, in one of my pedagogy classes, I rebuilt a syllabus, and one of his works was there. He did Disabled Black Art History book. And so I know that when I think about like people who are creating these like system changes, he's done it in so many areas, and he's still doing it. I mean, he's still very active, and I still like follow the things that he does. So I think that's one person I'm like, oh my God. So
Thank you, Washieka, for this great interview. I can't wait till you reach your career goals, because I know you're going to make such a big and positive impact on your community.
thank you so much.